Alright, hello everyone, it is silverkyle, and today I'm going to be going over my Black Friday 2019 haul, along with a few other things that I did end up getting in the month of November. But we'll start off with the actual Black Friday stuff. And I did also get some things, I ordered some things online for Cyber Monday, which is today. So that'll be coming, I think I'm supposed to be getting everything by Friday. I only got like 4 things, so I'll probably do a quick video of that on Friday, if it all comes in on time. But in the meantime, let's look at everything that I got on Black Friday. I went twice. I went on Thursday night, and I went on Saturday. So I did not actually go on Black Friday because a lot of the sales start on Thursday night here in Canada anyway. I think it's like that. It might be like that in the States too, actually. And then I went back on Saturday because I was working all of Friday. So there you have it. Not a crazy amount of things for the most part. Most of the video games that were on sale, either I already had, or I was like, I'm not really feeling it. Most of the time, I'm always like, oh, I need this, I need that, I want this, I want that. Like, there's an entire huge list. And there was things still there that I did not pick up that I was still kind of curious and I wanted, but I didn't actually end up buying. One of them was Hello Neighbor for $20, physical on the Switch. I was tempted by that. Then I went home, I watched some reviews, and I felt so much better that I didn't actually get that game. It looks like I would like it a little bit. Like, I like the idea of it. But then when I watched a review of it, I was not interested in it anymore. Maybe if I played it, that could be different. But from what I saw, I was like, I already have so many games. Let's not worry about a game that's potentially mediocre or just really not exactly what I want. Anyway, all right. So because it's also been a few days, I've actually tried out some of these things, which is kind of fun. So I ended up getting Game Night, Hasbro's Game Night, which comes with Monopoly, Risk, and Trivial Pursuit. I originally bought this, it was for $30 at Walmart, and I picked up the Monopoly for $30, and then I started looking online, and I was like, this might be the exact same version of Monopoly that's on Game Night. I'm still not even 100% certain if the regular Monopoly by itself is the same version that's in this in this bundle. But I played the Monopoly, and there was a bunch of different variations that you can play the classic mode, or you can play the new live mode or something like that. Not live mode, but like real life mode or something like. I can't remember what it's called. And then in that real life mode, the non-classic mode, we'll call it that. There's 3 different versions of. You can have the regular one, the amusement park one, and a like a Halloweenish or a haunted theme. So that's really cool. I like that idea. So I think it's essentially the same thing. So what happened, I took that Walmart and I took that Monopoly version. I brought it back to Walmart, exchanged it for this one, and I'm much happier because I played Monopoly on this, and like I said, it seems like it must be the same version or very close to, and I played Risk, and I ended up playing so much Risk. I did not expect to get that hooked. Constantly playing it. Honestly, right now I'm just still playing against AI, having tons and tons of fun with this. Yeah, it's a pretty good. I have not played Trivial Pursuit, but for $30, like, I can't go wrong. And this is more so though, I'm having a blast playing it by myself. But if I had like my family over or some friends over, this would be, I think, a lot of fun. Next up, I got Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. Really happy to finally have this. I was tempted to get it when it first came out, but that was just a few months ago, and I got this for $30, so I can't really complain. I cannot wait to hop in on this. I never actually played it as a kid, and well, my brother might have rented it at one point, and maybe I did, but I didn't play very long if I actually did play it. But this, yeah, I love Mario Kart. I really don't like racers, but kart racers are something completely different. I actually love them a lot, actually, and I can't wait to play this. Like, it looks so much fun. I might play that tonight, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Next up, I ended up getting Kingdom Come Deliverance, the Royal Edition, which I think comes with all the DLC. I was interested in this because it's from what I remember, it's kind of a realistic. They try to make it a realistic fantasy type of game, like medieval game. And it looked interesting, but I didn't want to pay the full price, and I was able to get this for $15. New, I'll explain that in a second, with all the DLC. I think that's what the Royal Edition comes with. It includes the main game and the following additional content. So it comes with some DLC anyway. It comes with Treasures of the Past, From the Ashes, Band of Bastards, The Amorous Adventures of Bold Sir Hans Capon, and A Woman's Lot. So there you go. I'm kind of tempted to play this now, actually. So we'll see. All right. But okay, and it's brand new, but it's the gutted copy from EB Games / GameStop. So it was the one that they were kind of showing. Like the disc wasn't scratched at all or anything like that. I looked at it before I actually picked it up. One of my friends actually was getting it for the PS4. His was actually sealed, and he felt bad because he told me to like, oh, you should get that, and I was like, oh, for $15 I will. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I convinced you to get that. I was like, it's okay, it'll still be fine. So that's it for video games. Although there's one other video game related thing at the very bottom here. The rest is Blu-rays and some books. So the only 4K that I got for Black Friday sales was the Incredible Hulk from the MCU. I think I got this for $12 at Best Buy. Really happy with that. I'm slowly gonna transition every MCU movie that I have in regular Blu-ray to 4K, and there's a few that I was missing. And I probably will get rid of the rest, except for I don't think I will get rid of the. I don't know if I could spot it right away, but I have the Incredible Hulk, and it's the green version, like it's the green box, I guess. I don't know. Case. The case is green, so I kind of like that. Next up is these. I went in with my mother, so on Thursday I went with my mother Black Friday shopping. It's a tradition that we do every Black Friday Thursday. We end up going, and she went into what's it called, Shoppers Drug Mart, and I went in with her. And by chance, I just checked some of the Blu-rays that they had, and I saw these two, and I was like, oh, that's actually a really good price. So these Star Trek Next Generation seasons were for $10 each. So I could not pass that up. So I got season 2 and 4. So now I'm going to have to try to get seasons 1 and 3 and then the rest of the series. I think there's 7 seasons, I think. But I remember when these first came out, they were like, I don't know, $90 or something like that. And even now, they range from $40 to $60 depending on the season, online anyway. So I was really happy to pick these up for $10 a piece instead of paying like $80 to $110 or something. Next up is some books that I got. I went into Kohl's, which is essentially Chapters, basically a big bookstore. And I could have bought so many books, but I was like, you're reading and doing so much already in terms of watching movies, TV shows, reading books, reading comic books, reading manga, playing video games. You're doing enough right now. I wanted to buy so many of those books in there. So I picked up only 2. One of them is The Nanny. I got this for 50% off by Gilly Macmillan. Probably mispronouncing that. I'm about to start this one. And I also got Someone We Know. This is by... excuse me. Sorry about that. I just got to go in my throat there. Sherry Lapina, who I've read one book from An Unwanted Guest. I loved that book. That book is fantastic. I really like her writing style. These are relatively short books, like under 300 pages, just shy of 300 pages, but they're very easy to read. Her writing style isn't super wordy. It's very natural in the conversations that these people have in these extraordinary circumstances that they're in. Well, maybe not extraordinary, but most people don't have to deal with murders. And this one, so I picked it up on Thursday, and I finished it yesterday. It took me 3 days to finish it. Like, I just could not put it down. I probably would have finished it earlier had I not been working on Friday and Sunday. But this was excellent. I still would say An Unwanted Guest was better, and the ending was kind of weird. Like, it feels like it's not necessarily over, potentially. Because the ending just kind of... There's 2 things that I was kind of wondering about at the end of this book, but I still very much enjoyed it, and it was really interesting. The twists and turns that we went through this book. And last but not least, for Black Friday anyway, is I got the... Oh, and this was 50% off too. I don't know, they were like maybe $12 to $15 a piece. And I got finally a case for my Switch. I don't really carry it around too much, but when I do, this is going to work so much better than whatever that I was probably putting it in like some kind of bag to carry it around. It was not working the greatest. This is going to work so much better. It's going to look so much better. And this was only for $10 at Best Buy, so really happy to have that. And Breath of the Wild is the game for the Nintendo Switch. That I cannot wait for the sequel to that game. That, like, honestly, Breath of the Wild, the more I think about it, it's easily in my top 5. And it might be my favorite game of all time. Like, it's so... I'd have to play probably like 4 games back to back to see which one is my favorite game of all time. And they're all relatively lengthy games. So, oh, actually, this would probably be in my top 3. I could probably rule out one. Oh, that's so hard to do. I don't like doing that. It's like picking your favorite children. It's so, oh, but it's up there. It is. What a fantastic game. I cannot, like I said, I can't wait for the sequel. Alright, so that's everything that I got for Black Friday stuff. Then I also got, throughout the month, I did end up getting one other game, which is Star Wars Jedi The Fallen Order, or Fallen Order, not the, I don't know why that isn't there, but whatever. Haven't tried this yet, but I'm very much in a Star Wars mood because I have been watching The Mandalorian, which is absolutely adorable. I should actually do reviews of the episodes. I won't do 1 to 3, but I could do 4, and then 5 comes out at the end of the week. I'm so much more into The Mandalorian and excited for The Mandalorian than I am for Star Wars Episode 9, which is really unfortunate because Episode 8 was just... There's nothing to look forward to in Episode 9. Like, I don't care. And the trailer, there's a part of it that I'm not going to spoil... Like, if you haven't seen the trailer, I would recommend not seeing the trailer, maybe. Because the trailer doesn't do anything amazing, really. And there's one parts... I was like, why is that character saying that line at that point? That's... What are you doing? What do you... I don't like... It has to do with the character basically saying... No, I can't spoil it, because if you haven't seen the trailer, don't see the trailer. I have no idea. I trust J.J. Abrams a lot more than I trust Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson, though, made Looper, and I absolutely love Looper, but the guy does not know Star Wars. Maybe it was Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know who it was, but it was either him or Kathleen Kennedy, and God, I did not like Episode 8. It's not absolutely... That's the thing. There's still parts of it that are good, but it doesn't feel like a Star Wars movie, and I feel that they just looked at, like, the things that I loved about Star Wars and the original trilogy, episodes 4 to 6, they killed off with 7 and 8. 7 at least made a little bit more sense for what they did with one of the characters, because it was a nice ending, but 8 was so underwhelming. Wow, man. And I loved all the theories that they had. I would actually like to go and talk about that at some point. Have a spoiler-filled review for what we think Episode 9 will be about. I don't think that that's the route that they're going now that, like, we've seen the trailers, but that'd be freaking awesome. Anyway, haven't played this yet, but I will be playing it soon because, like I said, I am getting into a Star Wars mood, and I think I might actually do a review of Episodes 1 to 8 and watch them before Episode 9. I have so many things to do this month. Next up is Avengers vs. X-Men, the trade paperback. Which has all 12 issues, I believe. And I think, is there an issue 0? Yeah, there is. Okay. So, all of that plus point 1, number 1. What's point 1? I never saw that. I do have, well, I don't know about point 1, but I had all the single issues of this, when it was coming out. I was keeping up to date with it, because that's when I was reading comics back then. I remember liking it. I didn't love it, though, and that was a while ago, so I don't know. And last but not least, I've already done an overview of this, and that is the Batman by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo Omnibus Volume 1, which has the horrible binding. I did try something, though, to try to get a little bit more of an eye out of it. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to see that. It looks like there's no eye. Basically, anything that I did is gone now. While the way I'm holding it isn't helping. No, there's no eye there. There's no eye. Okay, go maybe in the middle. I had basically taken... There's a little bit of an eye. There's this... just a hint of an eye. I took a really long knife. I wedged it in there. Don't necessarily suggest you do that because I felt like I could have been ruining the binding at the same time. it helped a little bit. It's still, like, it's not going to, like, okay, so that's a few pages in. 27. Let's go to 100 pages. At 100 pages, it's still wanting to close. Let's try 200 pages. That's 150. I mean, it's not that much to hold it, and it'll be interesting to see if there actually, there's a bit of gutter loss. There is. I can't defend this one. There, finally at like 300 pages, it opens up by itself. Oh, DC. So I can't necessarily recommend this. I recommend it for the content. The content, the issues here are fantastic. The art is great. The story, I love this. City and Court of or the Court of Owls is amazing. Like, but there is a what is it? An absolute of the Court of Owls, I believe. That might be worth it, but I don't know how the binding is on that. So if you just want to read that, and that's even more oversized than Omnibus, that I definitely recommend. But as it stands, it's, like I said, it's not horrible. Like, if I have to open it up to read, there's no gutter loss in this image. And I'm just holding it. It's not horrible. Actually, there's no gutter loss because of the way that they have it done. So that's good. They maybe they knew this ahead of time. That's not too bad. Although now I'm getting a little bit closer to the middle here. But I feel like I'm pressing it down too much. I shouldn't have to be doing that at all. Like, the sewn binding doesn't need the amount. I think it's the amount of glue that they put on the sewn binding. It just made it way too tight. That's actually, because I can see the sewn binding. Maybe that's why it's opening up really well right here, or better than the rest of the book. But compared to the Marvel spines, jeez, man, it's so unfortunate, because I was looking forward to this so much. I still am happy I have it. I can't lie, but at the same time, it's very hard to recommend. So as long as you know what you're getting into, this is potentially worth it. But that is everything that I picked up in November. This has been a very long video. I'm sorry for that. I kind of mumbled on quite a bit. So thank you all for watching. You have been bearded in. Beardage.